So, hello everyone. I'm Saumya Chaturvedi from Skyy Academy, and today we are going to discuss about EV market trends and opportunities for students. And with me today, we are having a very special speaker, which is Arkss Srinivas sir from E&ICT Academy, IIT Kanpur. So, hello sir, welcome to the Skyy Academy.
Thank you so much, Saumya. Thank you so much for this particular session. I wanted to do also so that a lot of students get the value in the future of the current trends that are happening. If they understand what are the current trends, what they do today will be very useful for them as they go into their future careers as such. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So, let's get started, sir. So, as we know, let's first just give a little bit overview of the global electric market to our students. So for that, as we know that EV market is rapidly booming these days, and the growth is exponential. So increasing, it's due to because of the increasingly consumer demands over there, favorable government policies, and advancement in the battery technology that we are having. So EVs are actually becoming more and more practical these days. EVs are now a mainstream option with major automakers rapidly expanding, and we can see that new and new leaders are coming in the market day by day. And since the advancement in technology is also there, so it is happening. So any thoughts about this, sir?
First and foremost, what I would like to say is, how did this EV even come about and why has it come about? First and foremost, there used to be a time when everything was diesel and then petrol. There was a fair bit of time in the US. The ethanol was also an alternative fuel which was used. But when you talk about, for example, our friend Elon Musk, I would call him a friend because of the kind of revolution that he kind of brought in and single-minded focus on electric vehicles. I think Tesla, I think all of them really know about, and it has grown. In fact, I don't know how many of them even seen the yesterday's news that Elon Musk salary is $56 billion per year. Are you aware of this, Saumya?
Wow, sir.
It's salary, the CEO's salary I'm talking about. It's like amazing. And the reason why we're talking about is Tesla, Baidu, of course, and a lot of others. In India, Tata Motors have done an amazing amount of work. Now, if it is General Motors, Ford, BMW, Polestar, Rivian, in India, I don't know how many of them know, there was one electric vehicle, Reva. It was in Bangalore based. But, when that started, it was far too early for the game. But I'm sitting in Kanpur, and I'm sure you're in Bhubaneswar, and I'm sure lots of people across, either they are under extreme heat waves, or if you go down south in Kerala and the Bangalore's and the other places of the world, there's so much of rain. It's completely unthinkable the way the climate has changed over the last few years, especially. And EV technology, not just for cars, but for buses, for three-wheelers, e-rickshaws that we talk about, or two-wheelers, EV, the two-wheelers have become a huge market in India. Ola is one of the big players apart from everybody else. Here is where I look at it, not just for the world, but in India specifically, EV market is going to explode. And Nitin Gadkari, who is the Ministry of Transport, the minister who has roads and transport, he has very categorically said in the previous stint, he said that everything will get EVized by 2030. But if you look at it, last week's statement, after he became the minister again, union minister again, after the Modi government came back, he said that, okay, at least by 2034. Now we are talking about 2024 today. 10 years from today, we are going to have, and if in 10 years from today, if only going to be, everything is going to be kind of in EV market, I think the revolution has just begun and it's only going to grow. That's my thought process.
Yes, sir. Definitely. Now, since you talked about Reva, it's actually right now, I guess, Mahindra E2O, right?
Correct. It is now
yes,
that.
Yes. Yeah. So that is, I guess that's the first, production vehicle from the Mahindra about like when they are going into electric, like stepping into the electric, electric industry. So that's actually great. And so this is the overview of the, about the global electric vehicle market. It's
And what you
definitely.
say is right.
Yes, sir.
Various technologies are changing. Battery, for example, because at the end of the day, if it's an electric vehicle, one of the key things is the size of the battery,
Mhm.
the duration at which a single battery can last,
Yes, yes.
charging points that one has in the ecosystem, and at home, if required be, if it's a small vehicle, the number, for example, CNG or LPG, those things which happen, the CNG which has come up in Delhi, the only reason it has come up is because the government has put in a lot of effort in making sure that there were CNG filling stations.
Yeah.
Now that has to happen for EV. That is already happening in a few places, not all the places. I think there is a lot of challenge there. Unlike all others, whether it is a fuel like a petrol or a diesel or like a CNG, the time taken for them to fill the tank, as we call it, the fuel tank, is very less. Compare that with an EV, where the battery has to be charged, it will take a time. So there are other things which are coming up saying that EV, battery replacements. You go to a place, you give your battery and take another battery and put it and zip through kind of thing. There are so many other choices which are coming up about electric vehicle market. But like I said, like you said, Saumya, and I think understanding this market, reading about it, especially for people who are interested in this area, engineering, mechanical, production, automotive, even software for that matter. We'll come down to that, I think, in the next few slides. I think these are exciting, exciting times ahead.
Yes, yes, yes. Definitely, sir. Let me just stop it a while and let me just present my entire screen, because for some viewers it is not like that much visible over there. So, okay. So this is regarding the overview. So, sir, can we discuss about some emerging EV technologies currently in, globally over there?
That's exactly what if you remember what I was just saying, the battery
Yes.
advancement. The kind of batteries which require you to have wireless charging is the future, according to me. The reason is very simple. If there is a lot of battery, you need to go to a place where you need to kind of have a lot of space to charge. You are occupying that space for quite significant amount of time. So if the way I look at it is the EV technologies, primarily the battery advancements, are going to make a huge, huge difference in the years to come. Because the government, like you said in the previous slide, the
Yes.
government policies are very strong. I will not go into the policies as such, but I think maybe for another day, I think uh, the advancements in the battery technology is going to make EV vehicles. I'm using the vehicles, not just cars. It could be trucks, it could be buses, it could be three-wheelers, it could be, of course, two-wheelers and cars, of course, passenger cars and other cars will become very important. You
Yes.
talked about vehicle to grid. If you can just give a quick overview of that.
Yes, sir. Definitely. Definitely. So battery advancements, we know there are, previously we have the lithium ion cells. Now we are developing into some sodium state solid state batteries over there as well. Then comes your autonomous driving, so which is again a very interesting topic for this. So self-driving driving capabilities over there, so we have seen that at level 4 or level 5 in Teslas. And here it's also a major segment of the electric vehicle over there. So EVs are the core for this. So EVs, because it's easily controllable. So just unless in the gasoline, that if it's also if it is having some turbocharger over there, so we have some turbo lags over there. But in EVs, it's just like we have to send less current, so the motor will to lessen the power of the motor, so it will go slow over there. So it is easily controllable and it's within hands. So autonomous driving is also coming over there. Then vehicle to grid technologies. So feedbacks of the electricity to the grid is unlocking new possibilities for load balancing and grid stabilizations. Then we have the connected technology. So back in the time, we have seen regarding this connected technology as an emblem behind the some of the MG vehicles, modest garages vehicles. So we have seen a small emblem there which says internet inside. So that is exactly the like connected technologies that are being emerging these days. And since it is over the air update, so we don't have to, it's just like our mobile phones. So we get the update, we don't have to go to Facebook, or we don't have to go to like WhatsApp, so that they update our system over there. So it's over the air updates we are getting, and day by day these updates are making our life easier.
Yeah.
And then
The
yes, sir.
only thing I can say here, Saumya, is that battery advancements and vehicle to grid technologies are going to enhance or speed up the EV usage as we go along. But I look at it that autonomous driving and connected technologies are any which way there, whether or not EV exists.
Yes,
If you
yes,
understand, for example, remote diagnostics, over-the-air updates, in-car infotainment, these are going to be there whether or not you like for EV, whether for EV or for a petrol or a diesel or any other ethanol vehicles kind of things, or a hydrogen being
yeah,
fuel also is coming up, which is big up. I think probably another serious competitor to EV in that sense. Similarly,
yes,
autonomous driving also, mind, while it is definitely aiding EV, it is per se not directly going to jump up the speed of EV technologies, because that will any which way exist. It's already happening is what I would say.
yes, yes, definitely, sir, definitely, I totally agree with you on this. Let's move a little bit further. So we have
Yeah.
some career opportunities in the EV industry. So designing
So
and
if you can see
engineering.
here, there
Yeah.
are two types. There are three things that we are discussing here very clearly, Saumya, of
Yes,
which
sir.
the first and the third, the design and engineering and sustainability and environment, are the core to EV. Whereas software and IT is core to any mobility device. If I were to look at it, any mobile, whether it's a car or a truck or a bus or a vehicle, software and IT will any which way exist. But anything connected to, for example, I remember, if you are a person who understands how to use, integration of AI
Mm-hmm.
into EV technologies, that special skill is going to definitely help people to get jobs in the automotive industry also. But again, as you said, design and engineering is changing significantly more and more. And like design, when you're talking about it, even for battery development itself, on a continuous basis, you talked about what is it? Lithium ion batteries. There are more new ideas. In fact, I'm sorry, I forgot what I've read the other day. Though you are the expert, you would understand that if lighter weight batteries, long lasting batteries do come in, I think it will easily over the petrol and diesel vehicles in the near future. Also, please understand that petrol are, they are not reusable, renewable sources, and that sense they are usable, they get used. Here, there is a possibility of a reuse also, depending on how you use the technology.
Yes, sir. Like I totally agree. And also, like, I might have seen that there is a bit of, a kind of mindset in people that's basically the range anxiety. So if there is a 200 to 50 kilometers of, travel, like the range of the vehicle, and if it is going in that particular direction, so there might be a range anxiety for those, like people over there that, hurdles them for buying an EV.
Correct.
So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
yes, sir. So that's why like many charging infrastructure, like many people are investing also in charging infrastructure to become more and more widespread over there in the particular area or in the region. So that's actually is, you can say, a best point over there, because we might say like let's say 5 years back we have we are used to say that in India there is no, scope for EV because there are no charging infrastructure. So right now, but it is uh, over there and in the particular areas, like starting from Bangalore, Delhi, like in the urban areas, there are charging and even in rural areas also. The charging infrastructure are getting, like the charging stations are there, and fast charging is also coming along with it. So this is regarding all design and engineering. So
So
definitely,
before you continue with the design engineering,
yes,
when
sir.
you're talking about charging stations, according to news item, between February 2022 to March 2024 that I heard of, the number of public charging stations has increased from 1,800 to 16,400.
That
So
is,
therefore,
yeah,
and that is going to, rapidly increase. It's a ninefold increase. And just consider another ninefold increase from here. It's your charging stations are going to be ubiquitous.
yes, sir. Definitely, definitely. So designing engineering is number one point over there. So every, like even a CAD engineer, even a CA engineer. So design and engineering basically comes under that. Then comes your, like manufacturing job opportunities inside it. So that is regarding the overall design and engineering process of it. Then comes your software and IT. So for the integration of, let's say, autonomous driving over capabilities inside the vehicle, or maybe, like regarding the BMS, regarding a VCU of the vehicle. So software and IT comes under that, and then comes your sustainability and environment. So there are various environmentalists these days, and some environmental policies are being, incorporated by the government itself. And these are actually some of the important drivers for the EV industry to grow in like these particular manners over there. So
Correct.
shall we move forward, sir?
Sure.
You
And
have any point?
one last word of sustainability. The reason why we discussed about the climate issue, and lesser carbon emissions are always going to be helpful for the world at large, not just India. Yeah.
Definitely, sir. Also,
Yeah, you know that this is very obvious. In fact, let me tell you something. In IIT Kanpur, Saumya, there are so many of them. We have an incubation center here called the SIDBI Incubation and Innovation Center, where many prospective startups come down. Of course, quite a lot of them apply, and we also give them some kind of a grant. So innovative EV startups are the name of the game. There is zero doubt about it. And if you are good in that, and like I said, in 10 years, if it's going to be only EV, like Nitin Gadkari says, if you are starting off right now also, I think the opportunities in EV are humongous.
yeah, yeah. I totally agree on this particular point. So incubations are actually important for a startup to grow. Like they actually show the right path, show the right, like they make sure like as a helping hand, they are with us. So definitely, as the if you want as a career opportunity in business of like an entrepreneurship, definitely you can choose to start your own business. Not even let's say even for the manufacturing of the vehicle, but you can start it as like some battery pack maker, some innovative solution maker. Let's say battery cooling, liquid cooling of the batteries. Then comes your the charging infrastructure. So charging stations are also like separate segment over there. Instead of making totally focusing on the EV, because EV market is huge right now. So mostly you can also focus on the like the manufacturing of the charging stations. So that's the overall scenario over here.
The only
Then
problem in EV infrastructure, very quickly, I'll tell you, is that it requires a lot of capital expenditure,
yeah,
unlike other things, kind of things. Yeah.
yes, yes,
Go ahead.
yes.
Go ahead to the next one.
Okay, sure. So we have like talking about the skill sets required for the EV sector. So engineering expertise, data analysis, and sustainability focus. These three you have to keep in mind for this. And proficiency in electrical, mechanical, software, or maybe in automobile or automotive also is crucial for designing and developing EV components and system. So CAD and CAE, like comes entirely under it, and as well as the manufacturing part of it. Then comes your data analysis over there. So even if you are a data analyst expert, so you can simply leverage your analytical skills over there to optimize the EV performance and operations. So you can help the EV market inside this particular segment. Then comes your sustainability focus. So understanding the environmental impact and exploring ways to enhance the sustainability of EVs throughout their life cycle. So these three are, like most important skill set that you need to have. Sustainability means if you are having a mindset that you are working for a sustainable future, then only you are able to, explore more or innovate more inside your current EV situation, or like in the maybe in the battery pack advancement in the technologies, or maybe in the some different charging infrastructure or stations. So any points you would like to add, sir?
The one thing, like when you talk about sustainability, Saumya, is the circular economy that one is using, the reusability of what we have already used. I think that way, EV sector is the most conducive of all other similar technologies as such. In fact, the best technology, I would say, for the moment. It is the only one which is, so to say, caters to the circular economy, which is growing significantly. Second, the carbon emissions, while there are emissions, the carbon dioxide emissions are far lesser as compared to either petrol or a diesel. In that sense of the word, having that kind of focus, like you said, is going to huge impact. Now, before we go to, while EV sector, one sector agnostic, not just EV, is the data analysis part. At the end of the day, if you are a data analyst or a data scientist also, for that matter, data scientists are at the higher level, data analyst at the lower level, your inputs that you can give to take decisions for the EV sector is going to also make a huge difference. And hence, not only the engineering and the design side, but also on the mathematical and statistical side are going to be a nice blend to have a right kind of a skill set for your growth.
Agree on this, sir. Definitely. Industry insights and networking. Let's talk about the next topic. So, how it's basically about how you can network. So, LinkedIn is one of the networking platform where you can even contact them for an internship, or you can say gain valuable insights about the emerging trends. We have different on the LinkedIn itself. You have different groups. You have different voices. So right now there are this different voices over there, so you can simply join some of them and know the industry insight and what other people have to say about some current situations over there. So you have to just simple leverage these networking opportunities to build some relationships, exchange ideas, and potentially identify internships or job aspects within the dynamic event industry. Any thoughts about this?
No, I think you have covered it all. Perfect.
Educational pathways and resources. So undergraduate degrees. So you can pursue electrical, mechanical, or automotive engineering degrees to gain foundational knowledge for the EV industry. Then once your foundation is done, simply you can switch to the advanced degrees over there. So you can do some master's or PhD programs in areas like battery technology over there that can provide a deeper specialization in that particular field in which you want to go. Then you have some online courses as well. So explore online courses or certification courses.
So here is what I would say, Saumya, if I may kind of interrupt here.
No, sir, you can definitely.
So there are two things that a student has to understand. One, a normal degree one has to get, whether it is the undergraduate degree or a master's degree or even a PhD for that matter. But whatever one takes up, there are two parallel and almost, I would say, mandatory things that one has to do to improve one's skills. Because when you talk about a UG or a master's or even a PhD for that matter, I'll come back to PhD in a moment, but UG or when PG, when people are taking up courses in, their most, the focus is on A, getting marks, B, getting grades, and therefore getting the degree with them.
Yeah.
But what people miss out is the real learning that happens. The real learning happens in only two areas. One is internships, some kind of a placement where you work for a 3 month, 6 month internship and then convert into a placement kind of things at various EV, whether manufacturers or infrastructure firms or research labs. But as much as that, the other one is possible online specific courses in certain skill sets. And why is that required? Because if you are taking up such kind of an online specific courses, not just for giving a degree and putting it in your CV, but specialized knowledge, focused knowledge, very in-depth knowledge of that particular skill which is required in EV design or engineering or in battery development or anything for that matter, can come to people. Because in a UG, you're talking about a 20-hour, 30-hour and finishing off assignments, you're finishing off your midterms and interns and getting your grades. The student's mindset is completely different than when one takes up these kind of voluntary online courses. I'm using the word online for a simple reason that you can sit at home during your evenings or weekends or even summer and winter holidays, which will really, really help you to grow. Add to that, if you can also bring in certain internships, you need to fight it out. Like in the previous slide that you talked about, Saumya, networking is a very painful skill to have. It's painful. You talk to 20 people, one person will reply. You talk to 100 people, 4 will reply. You talk to 1,000 people, maybe 20 will reply. But yet, the key thing is those people who reply to you are the people whom you should worry about, because they are the people who are going to give you certain kinds of openings for that. As long as you can understand that as a student, as anybody for that matter, and not give up, I think you can have a fantastic career in this area.
I totally agree with you, sir, on this. And let's say about some of the conclusion and takeaways from this. So embrace the EV revolution. So just people need to change the mindset over here that EVs are not adoptable or EVs are not practical, I would say. So they have to simply adopt it to it because it's exponential. It is having an exponential growth over there and offering incredible opportunities in this area for the students to shape the future of sustainable transportation. Then develop some valuable skills. So as Arkss also said that you need to do some online internships regarding this. You can do at the comfort of your home. So it's basically just like this. So you need to develop the valuable skills. You need to stay focused. You need to stay in touch with the industry, like what is happening, what are the emerging trends in the industry these days. Then you can, as part of the third, you can explore some entrepreneurial paths as well. So the EV space is, it's a, ocean of innovation. So providing students the chance to launch their own startups and, disrupt the transportation landscape. So even if you have seen that, the old some double-decker buses there in Mumbai, which is also now in as an EV bus over there. So these public transports are changing these days. You might have seen, EV three-wheeler, which is most common these days. You might have seen these on the roads as well. So as far as the public transport, so these are the steps which are taken by the government as well, or by the the private people who are buying it and using it for the commercial purpose over there. Then entrepreneur, definitely you can go to some incubation centers for it. You can pitch your ideas over there, and you can simply say that these are the things that I want for the betterment of the for the humanity, you can say. So so as coming to the next, so Skyskill has.
So here is what I will say this,
yes, sir.
Gentlemen, friends, all of you who are listening to this carefully. You need to decide whether you want to make a career in the EV area. If you think that, two things. One, it is not just that is where the scope is, that is where the growth is, that is where the moolah is. Now, for getting there, what we have done at EICT Academy, that is Electronics and Information and Communication Technology Academy, which has been an initiative with from the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, the MIT, and IIT Kanpur. There are other IITs also which have done this. EICT Academy has started certain skill development courses over the last 7-8 years, and now enhancing it to areas like electric vehicles. We partner with highly acclaimed edtech partners with us to ensure that you get the best in the business. In that sense, Skyy Skill Academy, based out of Bhubaneswar, but also in Hyderabad and other places, has been one of the best to impart these kind of skills. And what we are going to give you today is various kinds of, there are going to be 10-15 of them which we are coming out with. But initially, we are launching the basic certification program in electric vehicle technology and powertrain, certification program in autonomous vehicle and ADAS, and a long-term program, a vehicle design analysis. Again, in the this is not going to be basic certification, friends. It's going to be advanced certification program on vehicle design and analysis. And will ensure, along with our implementation partner, Skyy Skill Academy, that live assignments will be given to you to make sure that there is a hands-on learning. That is something which we give. And when you get a certification from EICT Academy and IIT Kanpur with the mighty logo, wherever you go, you will have the kind of a value that people will show in the interviews, at the interview stage also. Saumya, you can go to the next one. So this is one thing which we are very, very confident about. Do make sure that you decide what is the areas that you want to get into. And we at AICT Academy, IIT Kanpur, by the way, this is, you can see the HTTPS is IFACET. IFACET is the company which administers AICT Academy within IIT Kanpur. It's a Section 8 company, a not-for-profit company. Our endeavor is to skill India. Digitally skill India digitally. That is our aim. Thanks to our Prime Minister, and of course, not just the Prime Minister, but also our director at IIT and other really dignitaries at the ministries.
So talking about the like the mighty logo which you said. So here's like you can see the sample certificate of that. So it's basically like it just showcase that like with the IIT Kanpur and like E&ICT Academy over there.
Once somebody gets this certification, I think they will be in a very, very good position to be able to apply to the right kind of a jobs, and also for internships in that sense.
Yes, definitely. Absolutely. So with that, we can end our session over here, and we are requesting for the Q&A. So let's take some quick Q&As, sir. So we have one question over here from the chat. So it is basically to you, sir. How has your perspective on electric vehicles changed over the past years?
By the way, we can stop the presentation of this.
Yeah, just a second. Yes.
I have been a proponent of petrol vehicles, my friends. And the reason is because I have driven a Civic, I have driven a Jazz, I have driven a City, I have driven a Kia, I have driven a typically a lot of Honda vehicles, to be very honest. And of course, I worked with Maruti Suzuki myself in 1997, the first time, and I used to love the Zen, the Wagoner, and of course, the esteems of the world at that point of time. Now, what I'm trying to say is, there's a lot of skepticism whether EV works. Yeah. While everybody was talking about EV, etc., when you ask me what has been the perspective change, I used to look at Tesla very, very negatively, or rather with a suspicious mind. But today, when I look at it, and Nitin Gadkari, sir, I mean, we also are, because from IIT Kanpur, we keep getting some kind of a, directives from the ministries at various kinds of times. We at IIT Kanpur also are developing courses which are very, very specific in the EV area kind of things. And that is one of the reasons why this skilling also becomes an important thing. Skilling can be done for people who have already graduated and are people who are continuing their graduation right away also. So now coming back to my perspective, I am saying that, boss, in the next 10-15 years, I'm not only saying EV alone, but new technologies. EV is one of them, very, very strongly is going to happen. In addition to that, some other technologies are also going to take over as far as the automotive industry is concerned.
So we have one question, next question over here. So how can someone join the courses at
That's very
E&ICT?
simple. Go to IFACET, IFACET. IFACET is IIT Foundation for Advanced Consulting, Education and Training. In fact, you can on Zoom, on YouTube, if somebody can give a link to that, you can go to our ifacet.iitk.ac.in. On the online courses, we have these EV courses, which we have showed you, and there will be many more as we go along. Leave your leads. We will have somebody call you up also and explain to you how to join properly. You can directly join. Of course, it's the payment gateway is already available too.
Yes, sir. I'll definitely provide a link in the description as well for this. And apart from it, we have one more question. What are the safety concerns associated with the electric vehicles?
See, obviously, one of the biggest safety concern is that the battery will explode.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest and enduring concern that one has. We keep hearing this issue once in a while that there are 2-3 things. One is the battery will explode or the battery will die. Both ways. If you are in the middle of nowhere and let's say you are driving through a Rajasthan the deserts as such, and suddenly the battery gives way, then what will you do, kind of thing. So safety is not just in terms of physical safety, but also somewhere you can get stuck, kind of things. I think there will be advancements, I strongly believe, in the technology wherein temporary solutions or temporary replacements will happen. I don't know how many of you know, but I am a very old man, so to say. I used to see computers were huge computers in the 1980s. Huge computers. Today, the computer is in your mobile. The computer is in your mobile. Everything that you can do. So today, the batteries are large, take away space, take time to charge, etc. kind of things. But the way I look at it, there will be replacement batteries. It's like almost taking one extra, power bank with you. Sooner than later, it is going to happen. Mark my words on this. And that will not have a problem. Second thing about safety. I think the safety issue, the governments of the world and definitely India are very, very concerned about. The batteries, the battery manufacturers and the automotive manufacturers are going through rigorous tests. In some of these things, there will be some Six Sigma level of production efficiencies which are expected. Six Sigma is like probably having 3.4 defects in a million such products. Those of you understand this. We are going to reach there, my friends. And yes, there will be issues. Please understand that with the kind of heat that Delhi and Uttar Pradesh and other places are producing, even a petrol car can explode, which has happened, I think, in a few things. Yeah. There will always be problems. But whenever new technology comes in, there will be concerns, but we can overcome these concerns with better technology, better safety standards, and better safeguards that one takes.
Next, moving on, like we have one more question. So what are the main factors that are influencing the adoption of EVs globally?
I think
we have actually did this.
We have covered this without any doubt about it. Climate change, sustainability, new technologies allowing new batteries to come in at lower costs. There used to be higher costs at that point of time, replacement being not very costly. In the long run, the running of the vehicle also is cheaper as compared to a petrol or a diesel. Add to that the huge climate advantage or a climate the advantage to reducing carbon emissions. I think it's only going to be obvious. Add to that the last one. Every government in the world is giving special concessions, tax concessions or provisions or freer loans or less percentage, less interest loans, kind of things. tax havens, tax moratoriums for 10 years kind of things. I think all these things will obviously have made sure that the adaptation to EV is becoming a real thing.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that's about it for this. So there are no any further questions over here.
That's fine.
So
I think people will go back and see it, and hopefully they will ask and write to us more. You can give one email ID of ours in the YouTube also, on the YouTube comment section
description,
also.
yes, sir.
Thank you.
Sure, sir. So thank you, Arkss, for joining in. It's a wonderful session, and we also look forward for more such session in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Have a good
Thank
day.
you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.